And welcome back. My guest is SILAS NYANCHWANI. He's the author of 2 books, Sexorcised and 50 Memos to Men. And we're talking about the art of writing today. SILAS, just before you went to the break, you were saying something about men and women and interaction. One of the things we were talking about recently with a group of men was how much interaction we have in our marriages right now. You know? I mean, we've got social media. So by the time the evening comes, we have talked to our wives 4 or 5 or 6 times. Mm-hmm. Through text, through calls, through what. Yeah. Back in the day, our fathers would leave the house, and the next time they would talk would be in the evening. Yeah. If at all, if
they lived in the same place.
And if you entered late enough, it would be to have a meal and to go to sleep at those bed. Yeah. The interaction was a little bit less. Yeah. Or sometimes they would go for work, 1 month away, has come back. Mm. So you find that the person who is 10 years married now, mm-hmm. and the person who was 10 years married then, the conversations these new ones have had mm-hmm. are a lot more than...
Yeah, that's true.
Than those ones in the past. Yeah. You think it has played a factor in causing friction?
It has played a huge role because of the aspect of familiarity. Truth be told, like, the more familiar with someone, the more contemptuous you become to them. And then, so that, even in the traditional African society, you notice that virtually in all African societies, the man lived in his own house. Men went to hunt, women went to gather their stuff, and in the evening they came, they ate a meal, and then, fortunately for them, they had polygamy. Mm-hmm. So if there was a problem,
so the wife would come for relations and go.
Yeah. If you had a problem with the number 1, it'd go for number 2. So. Mm-hmm. Men now, we don't have that kind of privilege. We are sort of like condemned. No, we adopted this Western...
Mm-hmm. I like how you say that privilege.
Monogamy. It was sort of like a privilege. Yeah? So we adopted this. And it was also a privilege for women because she didn't have to deal with this man like every other day. If the man has problems...
With your nonsense daily.
They could take that to the other wife, like it was... The problems were co-shared among the wives and... The wives co-shared the man's problem amongst themselves. And it had its advantages and disadvantages. But now when you come to the modern society, when you adopted this Western, monogamous, Christian way of life where a man and a wife are supposed to live together and raise children together, in an ideal situation is the best, perfect arrangement. But now there are other factors here, working, the job, the stress and everything. So all those factors, they contribute to making marriages a bit messy. Yeah, and then now because of the economy, men are a bit cornered. There are very few men who are breaking into the India. And then you notice like the last like 10, 15 years, the economy has been working for women. Even when you look at the Kenya demographic and real survey, whatever they did the last time, they say that women who are between 18 to around 35, they are doing better than men in the same age category. Yeah. So those are the problems that we're dealing with. You have an empowered woman who does not understand what comes with the power and the responsibility that come with the power, And now you have men also who don't know how to navigate in that space. So that's the point of conflict.
Yeah. Do you feel like in your writing that you're also teaching as well?
Yeah, I'm trying to...
You get people who come and say,
Yeah, a lot of guys, they come to my inbox, they say like, you've opened my eyes into something, never saw things that way, I'm learning this, And my approach is not really like to be a teacher. For me, I just want to lay bare these things for everyone to see. Of course, the tone can be that of a teacher, but for me, I want to put these topics on the table. Mm-hmm. Some of them are very uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. Like yesterday, I was talking about the issue of deadbeats. For the longest time, I think like men just decide to be deadbeats. And then I didn't know there are other factors, So I put everything there on the table, and you could see even those women who normally insult me, they ran away because now I'm tabling the truth as it is. So that's what normally happens.
Yeah, you said those women who normally insult you, you have some haters.
Yeah, I do have women who insult me, who think like whatever I write is misogyny or chauvinism.
It's basically,
type. Basically, to them, they define anything that they disagree with. Anytime you call a woman into accountability, anytime you state the obvious truth that even themselves know, they start to say that, oh, you're a chauvinist because you're saying A, B, C, D. But I never mind because also they're giving me their feedback. And also, like, they do have certain things that they teach us, because also, even as men, we have a lot to work on ourselves, you know.
Yeah.
Because in between, we got a bit complacent, because we used to think like, oh, marriage is all about paying bills and that is it. But there's more to it than just paying bills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're discussing matters to do with actually with relationship, the self, you know, social engagements. Is this what you always wanted to do?
No.
When you saw yourself as a writer of...
No, you know, when you're a writer, you're like a mirror to the society. So you can basically write about anything that comes your way, you know. Ideally, I'll prefer doing some bit of travel writing, you know, food writing and such. But every other time, like, I want to quit that space, I'll go to the bar and I'll meet a girl who's crying because maybe caught his wife cheating. I'll meet a girl who's crying because he lost his job and now anaanza kuonyesha madharau kwa nyumba, you know. So I feel like I should address this more and more, you know, just telling men that you'll be fine no matter what, you know.
If you feel called to say something.
Yeah, just go talk to your friends, have a drink, you know. If they're going to get stuff, just rush the village a bit for a few months and just catch a breeze, you know. Yeah. Because sometimes Nairobi is too fast and people don't know what to do.
So tell me, how do you remember? Because sometimes, do you walk in and do you note somewhere?
No, I was blessed with a very good memory.
Are you the guy in the room with the, you know,
No.
Yeah?
I have like a huge memory, but it's a very funny memory. I only record what I want, like I record in my mind what I want to record. So I can talk with you like about a million things, but I just pick one and I say, this one is enough for me for today, you know. So basically, I'm more of like an observer. When I go into a place, I'm like the fly on the wall, you know, I'm just observing what's going on.
You're looking,
yeah,
you're that guy.
And then I listen a lot. Yeah.
What have you found out is one of the, in your memos, maybe you can give us a sneak preview, is one of the biggest misconceptions that men have?
The biggest misconception?
That men have. In one of your memos, what can you tell us that in your studies about men?
The biggest misconception that men have is that, for example, women don't cheat. Like, they don't know that women cheat as much as men, you know.
They think they're
they think like women cheat less, but women cheat probably more than men.
Really?
Especially if it's working class, corporate women, you know. And like most men are not aware of like what women are capable of, you know. Basically, they are not aware like what women are capable of.
Do you think it's some macho-ness in thinking that you are in control of things?
It's not really macho-ness. As I said earlier, is that the women are dealing with them. They have been gifted with the opportunities. You know, our mothers probably, they could, if they had a similar opportunity, they'll be the same, you know. But our mothers were basically in the village where they didn't have conferences to go to. They didn't have colleagues who are just patting them in the back and telling them nice things, you know. They didn't go to the clubs, you know. We have wives who go to clubs and you know, the kind of stuff they do that. So even us, like, we're sort of like lost. Like it's just a new territory. Like nobody knows what's happening, and so most men don't know what women are capable of. And we also, you know, for the longest time, we assume that women are very innocent, you know. And just a myth, like women are, and women know how to hide. Even online, you can see they're still struggling to hide their innocence, like any to claim that they're innocent.
Yeah.
So they're good women. I have to be very clear that they are good women. A majority of women are good. Eh?
Yeah. But because you know they'll be throwing barbs at you right after
this.
But
those who are bad, they are bad, and most men don't know what women are capable of.
Wow.
And that's something that if they knew, then we will not be having men killing women. You'll not be having men acting violently. Because for me, like right now, there's nothing that a woman can do that can shock me. There's nothing that a woman can do that can shock me. So if men can get to that space, like of philosophical, intellectual awareness of that, women are just human beings like us, capable of doing what exactly men can do, maybe worse, you know. So that's like the biggest misconception that men have, and that's what we have to educate them daily.
Yeah, I hear you. I think in terms of when you look at your interactions on social media and just going forward, do you think that the conversation is helping?
The conversation, they're helping, but only in one way. In social media, as Silas, it's not like I'm an expert or a psychologist and like I can give people like better insights. So we have so many quirks. We have so many guys who are peddling a lot of like wrong influence to people. And there are people who are vulnerable enough to pick up these things. So in social media, if only people can have some spirit of discernment. Even sometimes maybe what I write is just my personal problems and just putting on the page, and maybe you take them up and you internalize them. So it's not very healthy, but at least it's giving us that space to play that conversation. But I wish there could be like more serious platforms where these things can be talked about and something done about it, For example, something about the economy. I wish like someone in the government maybe can do something to help men, such kind of stuff. Yeah.
Actually be able to tackle some of those problems.
So it's a good space to share this thing, but it should not end there. Those things, we need to carry on the conversation to better spaces, to where we can mentor men with better stuff, and to where also we can educate women on how to deal with the empowerment and the new responsibilities that they have.
Yeah. So what advice do you give to people who write, who are trying to write, who want to come into that space that you're in and, pour out their ideas?
The advice I'll give is that if you want to become a writer, first of all, you must read a lot. You must read a lot. Number two, you have to practice. You have to practice how to write. Like writing is all about practice. Reading, writing, daily. Like it's a daily thing. Like if you are going to be a good writer, you must have a quarter of what you want to do daily. Maybe you want to read maybe 50 pages of fiction, some 50 pages of non-fiction, watch some bit of stuff, because writing is all about sharing knowledge, and you can't be knowledgeable in everything. You have to learn from others.
What jumps out at you when you're reading something yourself?
What jumps at me?
Yeah, when you're reading something.
I'm always looking for witty, intellectual, and funny stuff. Like for me, I'm just looking for humor. That's the main thing that I'm always looking for.
Yeah, you ask yourself, can I laugh here?
Yeah, can I laugh? And can this person make me laugh? Can this writer educate me? Make me laugh and write beautifully, beautiful sentences,
Yeah. Because your books are very, very gripping. Did you, for you to get the attention of someone,
Yeah.
Do you write and then you read and you're like, wow. Do you enjoy your own writing material?
Yeah, of course I enjoy writing the material and I enjoy my work. It helps that I went through, I studied literature at the university, and I went through the hands of some of the best teachers anyone can go through at the University of Nairobi and in Colombia. So when I'm writing, I always know, it's like when you're writing comedy, they always know where the punchline is supposed to be. They always know, So like when Dave Chappelle or Chris Rock is delivering a joke, he knows at this moment people are supposed to laugh and all that. So I usually take like the same approach. Like when I'm writing, I know like I'll start with this paragraph. In this paragraph, let me try and grab the reader's attention and, on and on and on and on and on. So it's very deliberate and very intentional.
So you'd encourage people to do a bit of training and,
Yeah, training helps. Of course, it helps if you have the talent with you. And then after that now, some bit of training just to sharpen your skills. Yeah.
Just to get to know what's out there.
Yeah, I've done some number of creative writing masterclasses, and I've seen they have helped a few guys here and there.
Are you still doing that? Do you still train?
I've not had a quorum for more than, I think, 3 years. Actually, the last one I did was at the Creative Garage. Yeah.
So what's next in store in terms of these books you're talking about?
I'm releasing my other book.
You said the other one is to younger men.
Yeah, now I'm releasing, there's a book that was supposed to come December last year called A Sunday Afternoon Drink with Uncle Silas. And it's supposed to come before the end of the year. And I released like a small book just for sort of like jokes and my dating experience in Nairobi. And that one should come sometime in October.
Wow.
But it's just like a small funny book, just for my fans. If I'm my fan, I'll encourage you just to buy, just to entertain, just like a small book.
Like a booklet like this?
Yeah, just to make you laugh when you're bored and such.
Yeah. Why do you feel you said why you felt the need to write these memos to the older men, sort of. But the younger men, why do you feel you need to write to them?
Older men deal with different problems than what younger men deal with. Someone in their 30s, they probably have problems in their marriage. but someone in their 20s, they don't have problems. Maybe they're not married, you know. So I wanted to separate so that the knowledge that I have right now, I really wish that I had it when I was 25. Maybe I would have done things a bit differently. Or if not, then I would have known when I was making mistakes, because sometimes when you give advice, people don't take it up. But when they have
I always ask
knowledge,
that, would you have listened? You know,
maybe not, but it would have helped me avoid, like presently now, if for example I go on a date and I see a chick and she doesn't meet certain things, now I'm able to know. But when I was young, I wasn't able to, you know, the thing with men, like when you go into dating someone, we go with genuine intentions. Like when you want a long-term partner, we don't hide, like we don't have anything we're hiding, you know. But for women, she'll decide what she wants to do with you. If she wants to be a wife, she'll give you a different version of herself. If she wants to be, you know, a girlfriend, she'll give you a different version of herself. So that's why a woman can come to my place and she'll wash my clothes, cook for me, and do everything for me. But she comes to a place and she'll sit.
So when we are thinking, unamuingiza box, ni wewe unaingiza box.
Yeah, like that one happens. But usually when you're young, you're not able to know these things.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, I try to separate, and I really want young men, and to see even it's women who teach me these things. It's not like, you know, sometimes women think like I'm writing these things out from nowhere. But it's actually women who tell me that, for example, mimi kama uchali simfeel, nitakula tu pesa yake na niachane na yeye. Yule chali yule, you know, like they tell me these things, you know, and so I'm trying to help young men just to know, like at least to have that knowledge, you know.
To get a bit of something in the. Well, we're running out of time.
Yeah, sure.
But let me just ask you, even before we go, for people who are just getting into the reading culture and are beginning to now get to how important would you, and you know the life is now throwing them also. There's a lot of guys who are doing short videos, and there are people who get on social media and they say, post is too long. How would you encourage them and tell them what is the real importance you can attach to reading?
You know, there can never be a substitute for reading and good books, you know. The problem with the audio and visual medium, they come with a lot of distractions. And, you know, when someone is writing, like when I write, I'm able to lay down my thoughts in a very clear and concise way, you know. But now, like right now, we're doing a video here. I'm not able to say everything that I can say. But if you go to my memos, you'll find a lot of material, you know. So when reading is important because you're able to get ideas in their raw form, you know. And also it's very intimate. And you learn a lot from reading. You can learn from watching and listening, but you learn a lot from reading. Yeah, like it's an intimate experience. And if you get good books, they can really unblock so much in you and open your eyes to so many things.
Yeah.
And like when I read, I think that's the most interesting thing that I do in my life. Like I read and I feel so good, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I feel what you're saying about distractions, because, you know, on TV, you could be looking at someone's hands, their eyes.
Yeah, the eyes, you
could be distracted with their voice.
On a phone, you know.
Yeah. You could be.
So that's what happens.
You're seeing a lot more things.
Yeah.
Like now than if they were reading, they'd just be reading.
And when you're reading, you know, you're just on the page.
Yeah.
And you see you're getting those ideas in their raw format. Yeah. Because writing is a very lonely exercise. When you're there, you're just doing everything, you know, you're pouring everything on the page, and the reader is able to get, you know, to get this knowledge, you know. And when people read, they should read all manner of books. You know, sometimes people get stuck on fiction or non-fiction. You should read a mix of everything. Yeah.
Get to be that all-rounded person.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing, Silas.
Excellent
stuff. We look forward to checking out more of your books. Where can people find those books?
Yeah, at Nuria Bookstore along my avenue. There's the book launch on Ronald Ngala. And people can just call me Kibanga Bookshop has my books. And on my social media, my number is also there. I deliver. I can sign and deliver to.
So just look for you on Facebook, Silas NYANCHWANI.
Yeah.
You deliver.
I deliver.
Yeah. Let's get people reading.
Yeah. And they should also read Kenyan books, not just my books. There's so many Kenyan books out there, and guys are doing a great job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, actually, that's the one thing I like the most. Is that shows that the places you're writing about, I can see them.
Yeah.
If you say Machakos, I know.
You know Machakos.
You say Kisii town, I've been to. As in, even when you talk about the distance, like, it's not like somebody writing to me, I don't know, I was in Denver, New York. A lot of people may not have been to America to make the difference. Here, unajua Nanyuki, Naivasha, it's very...
Yeah, they're very familiar with those places.
Very familiar. You say, I'm going to a kiosk, people can see you,
And that was the idea, like, you want something that people are familiar with and they can relate with. That's what good writing is all about.
Yeah.
Something that people can instantly relate with.
Excellent stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for honoring my invitation.
Shukran sana. Thanks for having me.
Right, SILAS NYANCHWANI, author of the book Sexorcised, as well as 50 Memos to Men, and others are coming out. You can find him on Facebook and get to read some of those books. And as he says, don't just promote it, promote every Kenyan writer out there. And a good writer is a good reader. I think that's a punchline we can take away. Have a wonderful day. Stay tuned for later coming up with Losu. God bless you. Good week.